Now children, we are going to study about the new physical quantity, that is area. Although this is not new for you. You have studied in class 5 and class 6 as well in very detail. This is the same as you are studying in your mathematics area. What do you mean by area? The surface occupied by an object is called its area. SI unit of area is square meter. Symbolically, it is represented by m raised to the power 2. It is equal to the area of the square of side 1 meter equals to 1 meter, that is 1 meter square equals to 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter. Here you can see in this picture, this is the picture of square. Right children? This side is also 1 meter, this side is also 1 meter. Hence we can say what is 1 meter square? 1 meter square equals to the area of the square whose each side is 1 meter. So the 1 meter square equals to 1 meter multiplied by 1 meter. Right children? Children, I have told you about the SI unit of area, that is square meter. Now I am going to tell you about the bigger units of area. These are square kilometer, 1 air, square decameter, 1 hectare. What are these? Bigger units of area are square kilometer, 1 air, square decameter and 1 hectare. Bigger units means these units are bigger than the square meter. If we have to measure the area of the playground, area of the field, then we use these units. Right children? 1 air. What do you mean by this 1 air? 1 air is the area of the square. Square, as I have told you, square means the shape whose all the sides are equal. So the area of the square with each side measuring 10 meter. Yes, children. This is the shape of the square in which one side is 10 meter. If one side is 10 meter, it means all the 4 sides will be 10 meter. So what do you mean by area? Area equals to area of the square equals to side multiplied by side. So 1 air equals to length and breadth, that is side multiplied by side. 10 meter multiplied by 10 meter equals to 100 meter square. 1 hectare. 1 hectare is the area of a square with each side measuring 100 meter. It means one side is 100 meter. If it's one side is 100 meter, one side is 100 meter, it means all the sides. That is what it is written, each side. Because square has 4 sides and all the 4 sides will be of 100 meter. So what will be 1 hectare? 1 hectare equals to side multiplied by side. 100 meter multiplied by 100 meter. That will be 10,000 square meter. So there are 4 zeros. That is what it is represented as 10 raised to the power 4 square meter. Same way, here is 1 square kilometer is the area of the square with each side measuring 1 kilometer. So 1 kilometer square equals to 1 kilometer multiplied by 1 kilometer. In 1 kilometer, how many meters are there? 1000 meters. In next 1 kilometer, how many meters are there? 1000 kilometers. So in place of 1 kilometer, we can write 1000 meter as well. So how many zeros are there in these meters? 6 total. When 1000 multiplied by 1000, then 6 zeros. So that is what it is written, 10 raised to the power 6 square meter. So these all are the bigger units of area. So now children, as we have studied the bigger units of area, now here we are going to study about the smaller units of area. What are these? The smaller units of area are square centimeter or square millimeter. It means these are smaller than the square meter. Okay children, if we have to measure the area of the matchbox or smaller objects, so we need to use these units, square centimeter or square millimeter. So what are their values in meter? As we know, 1 centimeter is equals to 1 upon 100 meter. So when we write 1 centimeter square or 1 square centimeter, it means centimeter is of 2 times. So 1 centimeter multiplied by 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter equals to 1 upon 100 meter multiplied by 1 upon 100 meter. It means 1 centimeter equals to 1 upon 100 meter. Okay children? So there are 4 zeros. So these zeros or these hundreds are just in upon. That is what always we write their power in minus. So 10 raised to the power minus 4 square meter. So what is the relationship between 1 centimeter square and meter square? 1 centimeter square equals to 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter square. Same way, 1 millimeter equals to 1 upon 1000 meter. So 1 millimeter square equals to 1 millimeter multiplied by 1 millimeter equals to, in this place 1 millimeter we can write 1 upon 1000 meter. So here 2 times 1 millimeter written, that is what 2 times we are going to write 1 upon 1000 meter multiplied by 1 upon 1000 meter equals to 10 raised to the power minus 6 meter square. Children, as we have measured the volume of the regular objects, as I have told you, that regular objects whose shapes are properly defined, like rectangle, shape is defined already. Square, its shape is defined. Triangle, area. So how do we measure the area of them? We have the formulas with us. To measure the area of the rectangle, to measure the area of the square, to measure the area of the triangular shape, to measure the area of the circle. Right children? The area of a square is equals to a square. Why it is written a square? Side multiplied by side, if its one side is a. So the area of a regular object if the shape is properly defined, whether it is a square, rectangle, triangle, area, can be anything, can be found by measuring the 2 dimensions, by measuring any 2 dimension, length, breadth or radius of the object. Like this is the circular shape, and from the midpoint of the circular till its circumference, this is radius of the object, using the following relations as applicable. What are these relations? Area of a square equals to side square, area of a rectangle equals to L into B, area of a circle equals to pi r square, the symbol is pi, surface area of cylinder equals to 2 pi r h. As we know, the value of the pi is already defined. It is fixed children. If it is given or not given, always it will be 3.14 or 22 upon 7. Right children? So by substituting the value in these formulas, we can easily find out the area of any regular object whose shape is defined. Now children, we have to study about if any object whose shape is not defined, like the leaf. What do you say? What is the shape of the leaf? If any paper, as you are tearing from your copy, if it is not proper in rectangular or square shape, so if you need to find out the area of that particular paper, how will you find out? These objects are irregular objects, area of an irregular object. So how to find out the area of the irregular objects? With the help of this activity. What is this? What is there in this activity? There is one graph paper you can see. So the paper, we need to find out the area. First we need to keep on the graph paper and draw its outline. Right children? When we draw its outline, then after that remove the paper from the graph paper and count the number of complete squares. See children, this is a complete square. This one is also a complete square. This again a complete square, and this one. So how many complete squares are there? There are 4 complete squares. And how many incomplete squares are there? They are not completing. Complete squares are not there in this. They are not coming inside the outline of this paper. So how many are these? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what now we need to do? We need to count the number of complete square marked as right. These are 4. Number of incomplete square marked as point. These are also 4. So total number of squares equals to 4 plus 4, that is 8. So the area of irregular object equals to 8 multiplied by 1 centimeter square equals to 8 centimeter square. The approximate area of the given object is 8 centimeter square. Why it is multiplied by this 1 centimeter square? Because the area of this one complete square is 1 centimeter square. That is what this 8 is multiplied by this 1 centimeter square. Right children? This is the activity. Now we can read this activity. Place an irregular object on a graph sheet. Draw an outline of the object and remove it. First, count the number of complete squares, then count the number of incomplete squares which are half or more than half within the outline which we have drawn. Ignore the squares which are less than half within the outline, like this. This is less than half. This is also less than half. So we are not counting them. The area of sum of the number of complete squares and the number of incomplete squares gives the approximate area of irregular object. So like this we can find out the area of the irregular object whose shape is not properly defined. Okay children, I have taught you in the previous slides area. Right children? Till area you must have learned in class 6 and you are knowing about volume, area, and in this chapter I have explained you again. But the physical quantity which I am going to explain you right now, that is completely new for you. So first we need to understand it. First we need to understand about the proper spacing. What do you mean by this proper spacing? Like in this activity 4, you can see there is 1 kg weight on the one pan and on the other pan this is 1 kg sugar. This is a bean balance. You must have seen this bean balance. Vegetable sellers are using it. So on this bean balance, one side 1 kg weight is there and on the other side 1 kg of sugar is there. So in these two objects, in these two substances, who is taking more volume? Who is taking more space to keep? Obviously sugar. Right children? And the weight of this is also 1 kg and the weight of sugar is also 1 kg. Both are balanced. But which object is taking more space? Sugar is taking more space. So we can say that equal masses of different substances like this iron and sugar, these are different substances, have different volumes. Understand this activity? Clear? Now we'll move towards the next activity, that is activity 5. What is that? Equal volume of different substances have different masses. Means their spacing. The space the object A is taking, the space object B is taking. Volume and the space they are taking, that is equal. But their mass is different. Like this can be understood by the following activity. Like that. Take 4 cubes of same size but made up of different substances such as iron, aluminium, glass and wood respectively. Now first label these objects as A, B, C, D. It means A is of iron, B is made up of aluminium, C is made up of glass, D is made up of wood. Since all the cubes are of the same size, they have equal volume. Now take the common beam balance and place them. Iron cube A is in one pan and aluminium cube B is in another pan. You will notice that mass of iron cube is more than the aluminium. You know children, iron is heavier than the aluminium. So although they are taking the same space, their volume is same but their mass is different. Now compare the masses of aluminium cube B and the glass cube C as shown in the figure. You will notice that mass of aluminium cube is more than the glass cube C. Yes children, it means the volume, the space they are taking, that is same, but the aluminium is heavier than the glass. Next is, then compare the masses of the glass cube C with the wooden cube D. Glass is same way heavier than the wood. So although they are taking same space, occupying same volume, but they have different masses. So how can we define? What we conclude from these two activities of activity 4 and activity 5? We can define them like 1 kg of sugar occupies more volume than 1 kg of iron. So what we can say? We can say iron is more denser than the sugar because the molecules of the iron are very closely packed while those of sugar are loosely packed. What we can define in the next? The mass of iron cube is more than the mass of same identical aluminium cube. So we can say that iron is denser than the aluminium. Same way, the mass of aluminium cube is more than the mass of identical glass cube. Aluminium is denser than the glass. Here, glass is denser than the wood. So, to distinguish between these two different substances made up of two different substances, we can identify them, we can distinguish them, we use a term density. Right children? What is that? New term, new physical quantity. To distinguish between these substances, what we use? We use the word density. Okay children, as I have told you about the new term, that is density. Okay, now you have to learn the definition of density and its SI unit. Definition of density is the density of a substance is defined as the mass of a unit volume of that substance. What is the density? Density of any substance. It can be solid, liquid or gas, is defined as the mass. It means when we take its mass and divide it by its unit volume. Unit volume means when we take the volume in unit. Unit means 1. Then the mass will be equals to the density. The density of a substance is defined as the mass of a unit volume of that substance. This means D equals to M upon V. Density equals to mass upon volume. If the volume V of a substance, it means we have taken one substance, its volume is V and its mass is M. The density of the substance is given as density equals to mass upon volume. Then density equals to mass divided by volume, and we can write it symbolic letters T equals to m upon v. This is the short term. Okay children, and this is the formula of the density that we use to find out the numerical problem. Now what is the SI unit of density? We can find out the SI unit of density from its formula. Formula of the density equals to mass upon volume. So the unit of the mass divided by the unit of the volume. What is the SI unit of mass? SI unit of mass is kilogram, and SI unit of volume is cubic meter. Many times I have told. Kilogram per meter cube. Children, you can see here I am writing kilogram divided by m cube. So here I have not mentioned minus. When there is no upon symbol, not a division symbol, then I am writing here kg minus 3. Yes children, when will you write, what will you do? Either you write in this form, then there no need of minus, or if you are writing in this form, so there should not be any upon symbol. Either you write this one or this one. This is the SI unit of density. What is the CGS unit of density? CGS unit of density is the same way. The unit of mass divided by the unit of volume. But in CGS system, what is the unit of mass? In CGS system, the unit of mass is gram. And in CGS system, the unit of volume is cubic centimeter. So what is the unit of density? Gram per centimeter cube, or GCM minus 3. The same way, the same thing which is applicable here also it is applicable. If you are marking this upon symbol, then we are not writing here minus 3. We write minus 3 when there is no upon symbol, there is no slash. Okay children, so what is the SI unit of density? SI unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. What is the CGS unit of density? CGS unit of density is gram per centimeter cube. Do you know children? The density of almost all solids and liquid gases decrease with increase in temperature. Increase in temperature means we are supplying heat energy. When we supply heat energy to solid, liquids and gases, they all expand. When they expand, their volume will increase. If their volume will increase, the density will decrease, because density is inversely proportional to the volume, with the exception of water. Yes children, water contracts on heating from 0 degree Celsius to 4 degree Celsius. Yes children, you can see here temperature is increasing, although after that water is contracting. So from a particular temperature to a particular temperature. This is applicable from 0 degree Celsius to 4 degree Celsius only, and expands on heating above 4 degree Celsius. But when we start heating above 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and so on, then water starts expanding. So we can say the density of water is maximum at 4 degree Celsius. It decreases when it is cooled from 4 degree Celsius to 0 degree Celsius, or it is heated above 4 degree Celsius. We can see in this diagram. What is there in this diagram? Here 0 degree Celsius to 4 degree Celsius. What is it? Here temperature is increasing. After that also water is contracting from 0 degree Celsius to 4 degree Celsius. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And here the temperature is increasing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So you can see the fishes. These fish are alive here also. They cannot survive. That is what we can say in the very cooler regions like Antarctica, where sea icebergs are found. So this ice is working for them as the blanket for the survival of the aquatic animal, and this is known as anomalous expansion of water. Now children, I am going to tell you about the last physical quantity of this chapter, that is speed. It is not a new word for you. You are very familiar of this word. What do you mean by speed? Right children? In the class 6 also you have learned. If the body is said to be at rest when it does not change its position with respect to its surroundings, while a body is said to be in motion when it changes its position with respect to its surroundings. Right children? So we see many moving objects around us. To find out which one is moving fast and which one is moving slow, we measure the distance. We measure the distance travelled by the different objects in the same time interval. If the two boys are running same distance, but who covers that distance in less time, whose speed is very fast, like 300-meter race is there. Boy A is running, boy B is running, and 300-meter race is covered by boy A in 10 seconds, and the boy B covered that same distance in 15 seconds. Whose speed is fast? Boy A. So that is not a new word for you. Right children? Okay. The distance covered or travelled by a body in unit time is called the speed of the body. Speed equals to distance travelled divided by the time taken. SI unit of speed equals to meter per second. Why meter per second? Because the SI unit of distance is meter and the SI unit of time is second. So what is the SI unit of speed? SI unit of speed is meter per second. What is the relationship between kilometer per hour and meter per second? Kilometer per hour is also the bigger unit of speed. Distance can be measured in kilometer as well. Time can be measured in hour as well. So what is the relationship between them? 1 kilometer per hour can be written in this form also. 1 kilometer divided by 1 hour. 1000 meter divided by 3600 seconds, because in 1 kilometer 1000 meters are there and in 1 hour 3600 seconds are there. 60 multiplied by 60, because 1 hour equals to 60 minutes and 1 minute equals to 60 seconds. When we solve these, we'll get the value 1 upon 3.6 meter per second. So what is the relationship? Hence we can say 3.6 kilometer per hour equals to 1 meter per second. By using this relationship, we can change kilometer per hour into meter per second and meter per second into kilometer per hour. Right children? Class 7, your chapter is completed. Physical quantities and measurement. If you have any doubt, your doubts will be cleared out. Your doubts will be clarified as soon as the school resumes. Right children? Pray to the God, then we'll come out of this corona time. Stay safe and stay concentrated on your studies. Okay children? Thank you very much.